It's much bigger on the PE model. Big difference when it comes to the PE. That is the IFS, which stands for, you will see and feel the differences, the immediate differences. It's not crazy upgrade of the battery capacity that this car got. And another button that we all really waited for. Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis Hyundai and Kia cars. And as you can see on my background today, I have two Ioniq 5. One on the left is 2023 Ioniq 5. One on the right is 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5 PE product enhancement model. You guys precisely know why you're here. I will give you a back-to-back, side-by-side comparison of this first Ioniq 5 versus this product enhancement model. Well, without further ado, let's get right into it. For your information, I actually have been driving this car for over 1,000 kilometers for the past 3 days, driving around the entire Korea, literally. So I started off from Seoul all the way to East Coast and back down to Busan, which is most southern east part of Korea. And right now I am at Jeollanam-do, which is the west coast, which is the southwest of Korea. So if you are interested, do not miss that video out just because I wanted to. It is one of those bucket list I had, traveling around the entire country. The thing is, I also wanted to do it with the electric vehicle so that I can actually show you what the experience is like to actually drive around the entire nation, what the charging facility and charging environment is like. I have covered all of that on my video, so definitely do check that out. What is your favorite design part of Ioniq 5? The front or the rear? And I really do think that the design altogether flows really great. What you see on the front of this Ioniq 5 really goes well together with the rear. Mostly it has to do with the penetrating design language and theme of Ioniq brand, that is the pixels. So when you see pixels from Hyundai car, that means it's an EV. So we know all that. We can see that abundantly on the headlights and also the rear taillight, the brake light, the list just goes on and on. Because they implemented a lot of pixel designs wherever possible, pretty much. There are 5 pixels on this charging port. Well, Ioniq 5, right? And actually, on Ioniq 6, they used 6 pixels here and there, unlike the Ioniq 5's 5 pixels. I just really had to show you this beautiful background and the view, the place I am at. I'm actually at my friend's house and he has this beautiful scenery and sight. And actually, this is my friend's daily car. That is also the reason why I came down here. And I did drive both of the cars back to back. And I will also mention and cover the different driving pleasure that these cars provide. And most importantly, one more thing, the specs of these two cars are both long range, single motor, so there's only motor on the rear. Both of the cars are rear wheel driven with a gigantic frunk on the front, missing a motor on the front. This car is slapped around 20-inch wheels, and this is the 19-inch wheels. Well, that being said, let me just bring over the camera and show you up close. That's Damjin right there. Hello. He's really cooperative and I met him yesterday. He is really a friendly dog. Look at him. And you know what? I have to show you this. Roosters, hen, chicken. My friend has like a whole farm here. I mean, just look at that. It's beautiful, beautiful scenery. And it blends together with this houses in Korea. Really amazing and great. And these Ioniq 5s really blend very well with all over the world, I would say. I've seen Ioniq 5s in Japan, Norway, you name it, but they just blend in beautifully, like it is doing right now here in Korea. The 19-inch wheel on a PE model, and the good old 20-inch wheel that we know of. That is actually one of my favorite wheels. I think it looks really great, especially when the car is running. It looks amazing and beautiful. That turbine looking things actually make a great design out of it when the Ioniq 5 is rolling. It also has a bit of the EV essence to it because the wheel is pretty much covered up. And right here, it's actually all covered up, literally. So from this point all the way to the center, from here to there, it's all covered up. So that actually helps with the driving efficiency, which definitely helps with the driving distance. As we know, the EV cars doesn't really need all that much space to dissipate the heat from the brakes. This wheel is gonna do its job no problem. And that is the same case with this 19-inch wheels on the PE model as well. It is the designs that we see from EV cars, pretty much all covered up, just a little bit of the vents just a little bit of holes to let the heat out and also dust from the brakes. Which design do you prefer better? I actually also have filmed this car before that had the 20-inch wheels on, and that is the brand new design, of course, including the footage right now. But drop in the comment below which is your favorite wheel design when it comes to the PE or maybe the first Ioniq 5. But I personally think that this design wins it all, hands down. My personal favorite wheel by far. The tire specs: 255, 45, 20, and this is 235, 55, 19. So there is quite a bit of a difference. Wow, 235 compared to 255. That is actually 20 millimeters of differences, right? So it is the same size all around: 235, 55, 19, and 255, 45, 20 on the rear as well. I will double check if it's the same 255 with the 20s on the PE model as well, but 20 millimeters is quite the difference. It is pretty impressive, and that is the beauty of filming the cars side by side, back to back. If it wasn't for this video, I would not have figured that out either. I think it's now time for me to park the car, realign them again, so I can actually show you the differences immediately back to back. All right, so the front view, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can tell the differences now when the car is parked right next to one another, side by side. And I do have the headlights on for both cars, so you will actually see this during the nighttime. And Tamjin is right in front of me. I love it. I love it. All right, so one of the biggest difference I would point out immediately, I might have been wrong on the model year of the car because it has still the good old Hyundai emblem, not the flat one, unlike the PE model, and all of the latest Hyundai cars are getting metallic feel to it, but it does have that brush feeling. I really love the upgraded and changed brand emblem and logo. What are your thoughts about that? I actually do really like that a lot over the first one, the original one. The active air flap is definitely one of the biggest differences on the front. So it does open up the same way and direction, but it does look completely different, as you can see. It is definitely much larger on a PE model. Just to give you a quick glance of it, just look at that. So that is about the height. That's how wide it is. Look at my finger, comparing it to right over here. And you see I can't even reach the bottom. So it's much, much bigger on the PE model. And I think it has to do with the upgraded battery size. Larger the battery, probably the more cooling the car needed. Therefore, bigger active air flap opening right there. Speaking of which, the front design is also different. It looks much more aggressive than the original one. This design cue, I think Hyundai got it from the Ioniq 5N. So Con PE model, there is also the N line. I do have a sole video on Ioniq 5 N line as well, so feel free to check that out. We will definitely see more of the Ioniq 5 NQ on the N line, but I think it's also carried down to the original model, regular model if you will, on this Ioniq 5, as we can see from that winglet design right there. Love that. I did actually mention this on the previous video, but the design, the lighting design here now has been changed as well. Single lines, as you can see right there, but it is now double line right there. However, from a distance, I mean, they do still look the same. I will include the night footage right now. When the sun goes down, I will definitely capture the look of these two cars during the nighttime, which then will be more obvious, including it right now. Looking at the lights from the side right there, by the way, that's the flicker you're seeing, so it does not look like that to human eyes. It is a solid light to human eyes. So that is the PE versus the original. Although it might look the same on the outside, there sure is a big difference when it comes to the PE. That is the IFS, which stands for Intelligent Front Light System. So I did actually shoot a whole footage driving the same course with these two cars back to back, so you will see and feel the differences, the immediate differences on that video. So feel free to check that out as well. This car has the regular side mirrors on. You see the pixels right there that will blink up, and the PE model has the digital side mirror DSM, but it is also an upgrade from the first one we saw. So this is the second version of DSM. A lot of people were worried about the rain, water, and poor weather issues. I did actually test it out during my car wash, so you can be the judge and see for yourself. I splashed water right into the camera, but it's all coated, so there is no water droplet hanging there. No water droplet is going to block the view as I am showing you right now. One of the biggest reasons why Hyundai Motor Group is implementing digital side mirrors on their EVs is because the CD, coefficient of drag, which has to do a huge contribution to the driving distance, the side mirror actually plays a huge role of disturbing the air around the car, lowering that CD. Each manufacturer, especially Hyundai Motor Group cars, they try their best to lower every single digit, of course. And I am talking about 1,000th of a digit right here. Every 1,000th of CD lowered is converted into 4 miles of driving distance. So that is the reason why they try very hard to lower every single one of that. So that is the reason why for that DSM, digital side mirror. We don't really see much of a difference when it comes to the front look comparing the first Ioniq 5 to that of the PE. And I think that just shows how great the design came out from the get-go. That's what I actually have been saying all this time, because the design came out just so perfect from the start that Hyundai did not really alter much of the design difference when it comes to the PE model. And I think that is precisely the reason why Hyundai did not call it a facelift, but a PE, product enhancement model. Tamjin is right there watching me filming. He's probably wondering what I am doing. Tamjin? Both of the cars actually do have the built-in cam. The difference is that first one got the built-in cam 1, meaning it does not record the audio, but come PE model, it now has the built-in cam 2, meaning that it also records the audio. Built-in cam, for your information, is the onboard camera, and both of the cars have one filming the front and one on the rear as well. So it's not an aftermarket, everything is stock on this car. Both of the cars are actually completely stock. And you see, I don't think it's actually recording the rear. So correction, built-in cam 1 only shoots the front, no rear. So it's been some time, so I think I just got that confused. But of course, come PE, there is a rear view cam, is for the digital center mirror. So you see my face and my finger right there, right? So this is for the onboard camera, the built-in cam 2, and that is the digital center mirror. So look at these, both of the cars. Oh my God, love the rear view. Again, I do not really need to tell you how they are different. You can probably see it for yourself right now. So the rear design actually has been changed, and I would not disagree that not many people would be able to tell the differences. I mean, I can, just a glance is all I need. However, there is one very distinctive difference that you probably can spot immediately, that rear wiper. My friend actually also even asked if he can actually install that rear wiper from the PE model and have it installed on his car. I mean, technically it's not impossible, right? But it would definitely take a lot of job and work to do, and especially the motor, the wiring, you know, you cannot do it. So the rear reflector right here, it's now different. So all these red bars right there is actually the reflector, with the 2 of them right here being a dummy. Guess how many lines there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is what I actually have been telling you about. Wherever possible, they actually used 5. Number 5 everywhere in and out of this car. But I actually do really like that rear reflector design. It really grabbed my attention when I first saw the rear of the Ioniq 5. What do you think? What are your thoughts? So come over the PE model. The reflector, of course, is there, but it is that one single bar. Rear bumper design. The diffuser design is a little different too. And other than that, nothing much. Yes, finally. If you didn't know, you can actually lift it all the way up like this when you do the car wash. And the profile, the view that I like the most from the Ioniq 5. Actually, now the spoiler actually is a bit longer. It's been elongated from the original one, providing better aerodynamic and also making the car a bit more efficient, if you will. So the double scoops are still there, of course. This is uniquely Ioniq 5, I would say. I really do like this design. I mean, it is not only for the looks, but it's also really functional and practical. So look at that. Well, the only complaint I would have, you're seeing it for yourself, that is, it's a bit difficult to get the water out after the car wash. The dirt travels through this scoop as well, right? It's quite difficult for you to wash this area. Well, this car is brand new. It only has a bit over 1,000 kilometers on the odometer, so you can see how dirty that gets. We'll see how it is on this car. This car has about 30,000 kilometers on it. Oh, wow. So seeing the car, the rear scoop design is quite different. You see, you're seeing it for yourself as well, but the length, the angle, I didn't know that, but it's very different. Hyundai did not give us a precise number as to how this spoiler actually contributes to the driving distance or how aerodynamic it would be. Oh, so look at that. So watch it from this angle. I can actually see that it's been elongated and the design is quite different. This is the view from the top, just like that. The view from the top, just like that. You can probably see the differences, right? Oh, wow. And before I lose the sun, I definitely want to show you the interior on the driver's side of the Ioniq 5, the first model. As I told you, I've been driving the PE model over 1,000 kilometers, so I know precisely how the differences, what the differences are inside the vehicle. So I will tell you and pinpoint the differences right now. This position actually has been changed. Originally, the phone related buttons are on the left and HDA on the right, but it's the opposite with the PE. So HDA related, ADAS related stuff is now on the left. We do see the pixels right here in the middle, but it is just the patterns imprinted on this cover. I will show you the difference and including the footage right now, but the PE model now gets interactive pixelated lights on the steering wheel. That was only first shown on Ioniq 6. Again, Ioniq 5 PE gets it. And although I can't really show it to you right now, HOD has been implemented on the PE model, meaning you do not have to hold on to your steering wheel and shake it every now and then in order to let the car know that you have your hands on the steering wheel, because the original Ioniq 5 is actually torque feedback basis. So that is the only way that the car knows that you have your hands on the steering wheel. But come PE model, it now has hands-on detection, short for HOD, and I will show you that momentarily too. However, the biggest difference, upgrade right there, you can see it. Now that white bezel is replaced with the black bezel. As you know, all of the Ioniq 5, the first model, had this white bezel interior, and not everybody was a big fan of that, unfortunately. And as I am playing around with the display right here, I do feel a bit of latency. It's a little bit slower than what we have on the PE. PE gets CCNC, which stands for Connected Car Navigation Cockpit, which is the latest infotainment system that you get on all of the latest Hyundai cars. So that is another huge difference. Yeah, even the menu here, it's a bit leggy. It is much more smoother with the CCNC. Again, I wouldn't really complain much about this display, to be honest, but it does. I do feel the differences. Yep, a bit leggy. The display layout is also different, as you can see. I'm not really gonna go through every single one of them and tell you about it, but feel free to pause the video now and come back to this and switch back and forth with the PE. When it comes to these buttons right here, it also is different. You might think it is the same, but it actually, the layout and the system display, it's quite different. It is only the knobs, two knobs on the left and right, one for the volume, another for tune or the map. Whichever the way you would like to use it, you can utilize such. So that is actually different. The stop button here, the location is the same, but it is different here. And another big difference. Now, so this is the drawer type glove box that we used to have, which I actually really liked. I think it's a brilliant interior system, but PE model actually lost it. It became the good old drop-down box. I honestly don't know why. So team drawer, drop in the comment below. I can't believe the car has been out for more than 4 years now, but looks great. I did mention this already at the start of the video, but Ioniq 5 just came out as an amazing, great car from the start. This lighting design pattern, I think it looks the same. We'll check momentarily, and I can never get enough of this vision roof. It just looks amazing. My favorite part of Ioniq 5, hands down. Speaking of another favorite feature, is definitely this relaxation mode. Just look at that. The thigh support also comes up. It is really functional, and I actually use this a lot. I love this feature. When you are charging outside and you just need to stay inside your car, you know, love this feature. It is already very relaxing. So this right here, Universal Island, another unique feature of Ioniq 5, that is, you can slide this back and forth just like this. And it does remain the same on the PE model as well, but huge difference is that the buttons have now been implemented on the Universal Island, and I think it's about time that I switch over and show you a Universal Island right now. This definitely is a factor that is telling me that this car is 3 years old. We have the A-type, USB A-type charging ports here. Not the most convenient position, if you will, to get the phone in and out like so. You actually have to fight your way in and out when you are putting your phone. Let's get back up. I want to quickly show you the second row and the trunk and jump over to the PE model. I don't want to go. This is amazing. I love this relaxation seat. Door panel, the design, this is not much different. The position of the memory seats, it's still the same. I think the buttons are pretty much the same, if not identical. Those relaxation seats and buttons. And I like the points, the stitches here. A bit of red stitches right there too. Ambient lights on this side and also the speakers. Hello. The same thing, the good old Ioniq 5 that we all know of. The bench seat, which provides amazing, crazy space on the second row seat. And other USB A-type charging ports on the second row seat. The trunk button located right here. It is the same thing, of course. So my friend has all this protective cover. Let's go open the PE model. Hopefully I'm not gonna get all that crazy water drops. Still a little bit of water drop. All right, nice. So pardon me, I couldn't really get all this out. Same thing, nothing has been changed. The lights, LED lights, the latch, the button, it's the same thing. I actually would have appreciated the close and lock button. Some of the Palisades and Genesis have, right? There are many times you get your stuff out of the trunk and lock the car. That button and feature comes in really handy. All right, the second row seat of the PE model. All right, well, let's see if the kick plate right here, Ioniq 5, I actually also do feel some texture to it. Maybe that is different. Maybe that's an upgrade. I think I need to move the car one last time so I can open these doors up and show you a side-by-side, back-to-back comparison. And you can close the trunk from the inside. Because I actually saw someone saying that she didn't know that you can actually close the trunk from the inside as well. You actually have to press hold and wait until it closes all the way down. And that is for the safety precautions, I believe. So. And you see when opening, you just need to press it once, and as soon as it opens, you can let go. But remember, you have to press hold when closing. I think I am really enjoying the filming today. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So the same memory seats, the buttons. I see the Bose premium sound system. It's also the same case. My friends also has the Bose and the same design patterns. So it does look identical. Oh, the doorknob, the door handle here actually is a bit matte. That's where the differences come in play. The button layout, it's the same. It is much more silvery on the first one, if you will. You see right there? It's more silvery on the first one. So this Ioniq 5 kick plate, let's check it. It is actually the same, so it's the same thing. So let's open up the second row. Not much of a big difference, except for the color of the door handle and also the window button. But it might be the option difference, so it might be the trim difference. Oh, there's no blind. Finally, let's get inside the driver's seat of the PE and tell you the difference. This car has DSM, digital side mirror, right? So we see a gigantic, nice display right there. Different colors for the door handle, as I've been telling you. And the interior light here and the pattern, I think it's the same thing, different color as my friends. There we go. We have 4 pixels right here with the Ioniq. And the reason why it's not 5 here is because this is actually the brand, Ioniq brand. And also the pixelated interactive lights. All right, so going into the menu and changing the language, you see, you can probably see it on the screen too. It is actually, wow, it is actually much faster with the CCNC compared to the original one. So this is the UI that the car gets. And we can go into the EV, and it will also show you all of this, very direct and self-explanatory, intuitive. So the powertrain, drivetrain, electronics, and the climate, I actually had the AC running, so it actually used all that much, very direct and intuitive. And another button that we all really waited for, the battery preconditioning system. I actually did mention this on my previous video where I told you I did the nationwide tour, so feel free to check that out. The design is different. I actually like this design a lot too. Which one is your favorite? Tap on this. It will also show you I can actually go everywhere pretty much inside Korea. Blue shade, if you will, how far you can go with this car with the current SoC. So I have 90%, 443 kilometers of driving distance with 90%. It's not crazy upgrade of the battery capacity that this car got, but I do feel that difference from time to time because every kilometer of driving distance does count and play from time to time. If you know, you know. All right, well, really losing the sun here. Even the display now got the dark mode, and close the trunk like I told you. Press hold right there. And that is the digital center mirror that I told you about. So you can have the good old rear view mirror just like that by pushing this down. It's not just the rear view mirror turned digital, but it's actually even wider too. And there is the different settings you can do. You can change, make it dark and make it brighter. And you can also lower it, and you can also tilt the digital center mirror as well, just like that. This button that I told you was different. You probably also see the differences too. 2 knobs left and right, and thank God the universal island finally gets a lot of physical buttons here. The ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, the parking camera button right there. You can also pull the car in and out using the key fob, the remote button, which also is very practical when you park in a tight narrow spaces, and you can change all of this settings differently. And I love having this display on when I test drive the cars. So look at that. Very clear and crisp. Oh, and I also did notice the difference in resolution. I will also show you shortly with the original Ioniq. The resolution is quite different. So it has to do with the camera, I believe. I did notice it during my night drive, the IFS comparison video. So feel free to check it out over there as well. So the rest of the buttons, you can see it for yourself. And that is another difference. C-type charging ports. So this is for charging only. And this is charging and transferring the data. 12-volt outlet, as we know, and this is what I am talking about. So a bit of bummer for me. I don't know, maybe some people might favor this. And I did actually ask my subscriber and told me that it's a bit difficult and tricky for you to get your stuff out with the drawer type from time to time. I do feel and think that you can load more stuff using the drawer type because due to the nature being, we know what the differences are like. I think it really boils down to your personal preference at the end of the day. That is the SD card slot for the onboard camera built-in Cam 2. Again, Team Drawer, unite. Let me know in the comment below if you are a Team Drawer. Different key fob. This is the brand new key that we saw starting with the Ioniq 6, and it's now also implemented on this Ioniq 5 PE as well. And wireless charging pad, I like it because it's vertical, it's really accessible, easy to get and grab, and you'll see the charging status right here when it is lighting up. And gigantic tumbler, as you can see. I think you can use this spot in the middle as your smartphone holder, but my phone is iPhone 14 Pro Max. It's a large size phone, so that is slightly just barely fitting. And the beauty of universal island, I can never get enough of this. You can easily move this around and just have the entire space to yourself, or maybe just push it forward just a little when you have passengers on the second row seat as well. So the armrest, the position, I wouldn't necessarily think and say that it feels different, but I do think that it's a bit more ergonomic. I really like where armrest is positioned. There's extra storage right over here as well, and it's storage everywhere when it comes to the Ioniq 5. It always has been like that. So C-type charging ports right there, so you can actually use 3 C-type charging ports from the driver's seat alone. I really have got to show you the second row seat before I lose the sun. So it's the same thing, same lever. You can adjust your seats using that buttons, right? So you can slide your seat back and forth. And you can slide quite a lot. Wow. And that's what it looks like from the trunk. So, whoa, that's a lot of space actually you can slide. Oh, let me slide it all the way forward. That is how much space. Wow, look at that. The gap I get. All right, so that's it for today's video, going over Ioniq 5 PE and also the original, the first Ioniq 5 back-to-back, side-by-side comparison. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Do not forget to like and subscribe Car Scene Korea if you did, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. I really have to include the night footage of these two cars. They are just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Aren't they? All right, so feel free to drop in the comment below anything that you are curious about. As always, I'll try my best to get back to you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.